Hi everyone, Big Pauly back for a rather festive video. Yes, as we're getting closer to Christmas, I thought it's only good to watch a couple of Christmas films. Now last night, I watched Bone Alone. Yes, Bone Alone. Yes, it's a take on Home Alone. What else could it be? But it's got a dog. It's got a load of dogs. Yes, so let's talk a little bit about this, and also I'll tell you what other films I'm planning to watch in this festive Sunday. Okay, so this was sent to me by my very good friend Jamie Powell. Thank you for sending this to me. It was £3 in Asda when I looked at it last week, but I didn't know whether or not to pull the trigger. So Jamie sent it to me. Now, this film is about a family led by Peter DeLuise up the top there in red. He was in Sequest. I don't know who the other people are, but believe it or not, Kevin Sorbo is in it. Hercules himself, yes. Not for very long and kind of like a minor part. His career has gone right down the shitter. Yes, he's a dog handler that's called in. So basically what happens, the family decide, they've just moved into a new house, but they decide to go to the parents. They've got two dogs. One's called Bone. I forgot the other name of the dog. I can't remember the name of the other dog. Anyway, Bone is a bit dodgy and they don't want him upsetting Grandma. So they decide to find somewhere to put him, like in a dog pound or a Christmas place. A Christmas place, what's that? Yeah, a kennel, in other words. They find this kind of, it's just a bloke's house really. It's a weird bloke that likes dogs. But it's even weirder because he likes to drink out the dog's bowls. Bowls, I said. Yes. So they leave the dog there, the CCTV and everything like that. The dog learns, am I saying that? Yeah, the dog learns that there's burglars in the area in a van. It's pretty much Home Alone setup. In this case, three people that are staking out the area. They see that this family are going away and decide to hang around and steal Christmas presents from this house and probably a load of other houses. Now, the dog decides to get the help of a load of other dogs in the home. And they basically go after these people that are trying to break into this house. Bone actually is like the Kevin of the film, the Home Alone. The dog actually sets the traps up himself. Yeah, very, very Home Alone, yeah. And the dogs in this film have a weird thing when they talk. It's all CGI'd mouth. So it's not just a dog just looking at you and then you hear his voice and he just looks at you like that and does an eyebrow like that. The dog's mouth is actually like this, CGI'd. It looks okay, actually. It doesn't look that bad. It kind of fits in. It's quite funny with some of the dogs that we've got. There's an old dog. There's the other dog there. So he's got a voice. He's got a voice looks like that. Yeah, kind of like, is it Kevin Hart? I think a bit like Kevin Hart. So anyway, the dog has to try and fool the people that are breaking in. Meanwhile, they're a bit sorry for leaving the dog behind. So they decide to, one way or another, come back to the house because the dog deserves to go to Grandma's, because it's a family. But that's basically it. I've probably told you the entire plot of the film. But it's an entertaining film. It's not, of course, it's not up there with Home Alone or anything like that. I can see why it's £3. It is a low budget film. It never bored me though. It was entertaining. There were some funny bits in it with the dogs. And the three burglars were actually quite entertaining. They were never annoying. They got what come to them, but there was a scene later on where one of them, the leader, fell on a bed full of furry toys, and there was like, the dog had already put glue all over the toys. And this bloke was just walking around the house with like about 1,000 fluffy toys all stuck to him, squeaking all over the place. So every time he moved an arm, it went meh, meh. So yeah, it was very entertaining. It was only 84 minutes long. It's probably a one-time watch. You know, you're going to watch Home Alone every year, but I doubt that I'd watch this again. But anyway, that's my little review of Bone Alone. How would I rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm going to give it 3 out of 10. Did that dog just set that trap? Yes, I'll give it 3 out of 10 because the CGI mouths on the dogs were actually not bad. Actually not bad, you know, for a low-budget film. So, yeah, and it wasn't boring and the acting was good. Yeah. So there we go. So that is Bone Alone. So that is that down. So thank you for sending that, Jamie. We are now going to go into the other room where all my Blu-rays are because I need to get something off the shelf. I've had a lot of people asking me to watch this film. I think this is voted the #1 Christmas movie of all time. I have never seen it. There are 2 versions available, a black and white and a colour, but I think I'll watch the black and white because that's the original. So let's go into the bedroom. Let's pick it off the shelf. Okay, so here we are. We need it. Where is the it? Here it is. There we go. So yes, It's a Wonderful Life. It's about time I watched this. It is Blu-ray. We're going to watch it. Yeah, original and colour versions, but I will watch the black and white. Right, let's go back to the cinema room. Okay, so we have It's a Wonderful Life. I'm going to stick it in the player, check it out. As I say, I'm going to watch the black and white version as it's the original, and then I'll give you my opinion after the film. Now, it was always a bit of a dodgy film to watch. My mum always said she doesn't know what all the fuss was about. There's a woman up top of my road who swears it's the best Christmas movie of all time. Of course, we know that's Die Hard. But I can only watch it and then give my opinion. So I'll see you after the film.
2 hours later.
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. I thought every time the bell rings, Royal Mail bring us some new steelbooks. Okay, now then. Going back to what I originally said at the beginning, before watching the film, Mama Bowman didn't know what all the fuss was about. A woman up the road said it's her favourite Christmas film of all time. Now, you know me. I love my explosions. I love my science fiction. I love my spaceships. I love my machine guns. First and foremost, I am a big science fiction action person. That's why I've not gone in for a lot of old films. A lot of the older films, I don't tend to get as much pleasure out of them as, say, for instance, Terminator or Jurassic Park or stuff that I grew up with, you know, Star Wars and that. And in the words of George Takei, oh my. What can I say about It's a Wonderful Life? 5 minutes into the film, I actually had already drummed it into my head that you're not going to enjoy this. Just do it. Just watch the 2 hours and then just do a quick review and just tell what you feel. That in 2 hours, you'll hate it or it's not for you. This was beautiful. This was a magnificent piece of filmmaking. 1947, I believe, with James Stewart. Some of the best acting I've ever seen. And Donna Reed. I can see why it's the most loved Christmas film of all time. I can see why it's up there. It's a story about family, about regret, about life. Saving someone's life at the beginning has consequences at the end of the film. It's about, you know, this young boy saves his brother's life, and he goes into the business of loans and buildings, basically, you know, like estate agents, that kind of, that his father run. And everything is keeping him in this town, this small little town. He wants to get out. He wants to go to school, even though he's a grown man. He wants to go to school to learn, get out, you know, spread your wings. But everything is pulling him back to this town, whether it's health problems in the family, family and friends, and rival buildings and loan companies. Yeah, and you know, he settles in this town, he gets married, he has a lot of kids, and unfortunately, towards the later part of the film, an unfortunate incident happens with a load of money, and basically puts him into the black, or the red, or the black, or whatever you call it. Bankruptcy, and he feels the only way that he can protect his family and get out of the situation that he's in is to, in a way, cash in his life insurance, and heads to the nearest bridge. And that's where that's where everything changes. That's where he's intercepted by an angel. What made me laugh at the beginning of the film, which at the beginning I didn't understand, it was just a shot of space and like solar systems talking to each and stars talking to each other, about angels going down and intercepting, and they could see what was going to happen to this man, and they sent someone down who wanted to get his own wings, and it's kind of, he wanted to go down and save this person, and we get to see him towards the end of the film, and I could see where kind of like Back to the Future 2 kind of got a bit of inspiration, maybe, because when things change, he wishes he had never been born, and everything changes. So the town is different. People don't know him. He'd never got married. The whole look of the town is different because the other bloke that runs the other loan company is more successful and basically has changed the whole outlook of the town. So in a way, you can see how like things change and things get influenced if just one thing changes. I mean, look at it this way. In 1998, I applied for 2 jobs. One job is at my current job where I am now, which I've been there for 23 years, I think. And at the same time, I also got an offer of a job in an air conditioning manufacturing facility in Folkestone. I currently work in Ashford. And you think to yourself, what would have happened if I'd actually taken that job? Because it moulds you. I'm getting a little bit teared up here because I think that film has affected me a bit, actually. Because it shows you the heart of family as well and friends. See, if I'd taken that job, loads of things would never have happened. Maybe other things would have happened. I might have been successful. I might have moved out. I might have moved overseas. But I never would have met my friend Lou. I never would have met Claire. I never would have met other people. I never would have had experiences with my mum and my dad. I shouldn't be getting teary-eyed. I should be getting teary-eyed. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean, how one little thing can affect the rest of your life. And you shouldn't wish for things to go away. You shouldn't wish that things were different, because what you've got is what you've got. It's the life you've been given. And we don't know what happens at the end of our life. Some people don't believe there's anything. Some people do believe anything. And I think different races and different cultures believe in different things. You know, like I think the Egyptians believed in reincarnation. You know, a lot of us, like the Christians, believe that, you know, there's a white tunnel and you see your family at the end, and, you know, God is up there with a white beard. But none of us really know, and none of us will ever know until that time comes. There might be nothing, there might be something. It's all to do with faith, not from Buffy. It's all to do with faith and belief, and that's the root of humanity. That's what keeps us firmly on the ground and living from day to day. So whatever you've got, just cherish everything that you've got, because things might be different, and everything can change. So yeah, I didn't mean to get a little bit teary-eyed on this review, but it has brought up a lot of feelings, and a lot of it made me think about a lot of things. So yeah. So anyway, that is A Wonderful Life. I did watch the black and white version of it, which was very effective. It looked beautiful. I know there is a 4K version, which I shall be seeking out. I think it is a once a year watch at Christmas, even though really the Christmas side of it doesn't start until maybe like an hour and a half into the film. I did also skip through the colour version, so I did have a look at a few chapters on the colour version. The colouring is very impressive, really impressive. And this is a 1947 film, but the colour version looks more of like a 1967 film. But maybe next time I watch it in colour. I don't know whether or not it'll have the same effect. Maybe I might enjoy it a little bit better in colour. I might enjoy it a little less in colour. But it looked good. What they've done for the restoration is very impressive. But whether or not it takes the heart away from it, I really don't know. But anyway, that is my little thoughts on It's a Wonderful Life. Mum, I know you said it's overrated and you don't understand it, and that's okay. But I love it. I love it. Yeah. Who would have thought that? Oh my God. I'd already put pre thingies down saying, like, I'm going to hate this film. You know, I don't like anything further back than like 1970. But I did like Wizard of Oz, and that was what, 39. So yeah, I really loved it. How would I rate it on a scale of 1 to 10? 10. 10 out of 10. Definitely. 10 out of 10 little jingly bells. Pardon? Yes. It's definitely going to be a staple every year. It's one Christmas film that everybody should watch. I know you could watch it any time of the year, but you get the better effect watching it at Christmas, like Die Hard. Because it's not just about the Christmas spirit, you know, it's about life, it's about friends, it's about family, regret, like I say, everything that I said at the beginning of the review. So definitely watch it if you haven't watched it. Fantastic. So there we go. So that is another one down. It's a Wonderful Life. Yes. What's better, Wonderful Life or Bone Alone? Duh. Yeah. Okay. I think I've got time for one more. And I'm going to give that Spirited a go. That's on Netflix with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell, because everybody's watching it. And now's the festive time to watch it. So I'm going to watch that. I'm just going to go down, get a cup of coffee, wipe a few tears away, because yes, it made me very emotional. And then I'll come back up and, well, I won't put a disc in for Spirited, but I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've got myself a cup of coffee. Oh yeah, lovely. And I got some little mini cheddars. Time for Marathon Christmas movie number 3. Yes, this one is on streaming. Okay, so Spirited Oh, we've got 4K, Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos. Fantastic. How long is it? 2 hours and 7 minutes. Octavia Spencer, Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds. Imagine Charles Dickens' heartwarming tale of Scrooge visited by 4 ghosts on Christmas Eve, but funnier. Okay, this sounds like it's going to be a barrel of laughs. Right, okie dokie. I'll watch this and then I'll tell you what I think afterwards. Okay, Spirited, starring Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds and Octavia Spencer, directed by Sean Anders, I think it is. So this is like a retelling of the Charles Dickens story. This is, you know, the ghost of Christmas past, present and to come, or future. This is, in a way, this is Charles Dickens done The Greatest Showman. Yeah. Will Ferrell is a spirit. Beyond our world, there is like the spirit world, where it's all backstage. You know, there's people like you see with the elves and Santa. You know, you see the factory where they make the presents and all that kind of stuff and ship the presents out. It's the same with Spirited. You know, we see backstage where all the spirits are. They pick a person, they go down to earth, they try to make them think a different way. They try to make them see the error of their ways, that sort of thing. And Will Ferrell lacks onto Ryan Reynolds and says that he can change him, even though it goes against everything that the backstage industry says. They want him to go and do it to someone else. I wasn't feeling this film at all. Now, I like The Great Showman. I like Dear Evan Hansen. And for the first part of the film, it kind of started off like that type of feel to it. The songs are kind of similar. I just wasn't feeling the whole film. Now, Will Ferrell, he's good. You know, he's a good comedy actor. And he was doing really well in the film. I hate to say this, but my problem is Ryan Reynolds. It just doesn't work. It seems now that everything Ryan Reynolds is in, he's Deadpool. He can't get out of the Deadpool guise. You know, the witty one-liners, the comments, just mannerisms. It's just Deadpool in every film. And that's the problem. So it wasn't so much the film, the musical Will Ferrell. I just couldn't watch Ryan Reynolds in this film because it was taking me back to Deadpool. And I think he's going to be stuck with that for a very long time. So, yeah. Also, I really just wasn't feeling it after 15 to 20 minutes. You know, I started to look at my phone for something to do because I just wasn't getting it and feeling what you're supposed to feel. And the other spirits as well. There's one, like, you know, the ghost of future to come. It's like this demon giant with skeleton, voiced by Tracy Morgan. Amusing. There's also this Indian one. Unnecessary. She was unnecessary. She just brought a bit of comic relief. And there's a bloke that runs the whole shebang backstage at the Spirited place. It should have been Patrick Stewart. It should have been Patrick Stewart. So, yeah, I wasn't feeling this one, unfortunately. I barely got through it. It's definitely a one-time watch. It's not something I'm going to watch again. So I can understand maybe why it went to streaming. It was on Apple, by the way, not Netflix. That was my mistake. But I just didn't get this one. It just didn't do anything for me. Even though I like other musicals, I thought I would really like this one, but nah. So for me, if I was to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it 5. I'll give it 5 out of 10 dangly bits. For the music, the cinematography, you know, the songs were good, and the production values was good. It just didn't do anything for me at all. So there we go. So that is the 3 films for this edition. So Bone Alone, It's a Wonderful Life, and Spirited. And of course the winner is It's a Wonderful Life. Yes. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like it by giving it some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, comment and share. I might do this video again on Thursday with a couple of more films if I get time. But until the next video, bye bye.